Thank you. That's too much. Thank you very much. You're lovely, kind people. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you're... it's only an hour, so no matter what, it's only an hour that you're going to be sitting here. Well, you at home, it can be less, but don't. Because it's risky when you come out to commit to some kind of performance like this, and you don't know how long you're going to be sitting someplace. You don't know who you're going to be sitting next to. That's always the risk that you run. Even if you bring two friends with you, somebody at some point is going to be sitting next to somebody that you don't know. And you want to be able to know that they're going to smell good, whoever's next to you. Oh, you laugh, but you know, there are people that don't smell good. You want somebody to be, you know, what's wrong with a little Powder Fresh deodorant? Nothing wrong with that, a little Spring Fresh, Powder Fresh deodorant. Because, you know, there are people that smell bad, then there are people who smell too good, that they try to overcompensate for the bad smell. I don't want to be inhaling White Shoulders the whole time. Or Calvin Klein's Obsession, you know? Then you go home smelling like the person that you've been sitting next to. They transfer their stench onto you. It's stench transference. It's not right, because, you know, they put a ban on smoking in public places because you don't want to have secondhand smoke. What about secondhand obsession? What about that? We don't want that. We don't want that at all. And when I say we, I mean me. And the Olsen twins. But at least it's temporary. At least you're just here for a little while, you know. There's nothing worse than when you live next to someone like that. Have you moved into a house or someplace and then you find out later your neighbor is a problem? You know, you live next to somebody that you don't like. Oh, man, and you don't find out until the last box is unpacked, until the last ceramic ballerina's on the shelf. I love my neighbors. I actually do. I don't want to act like I love my neighbors. Annie Fanny, she likes to be called. She asked for it. She says, call me Annie Fanny. And anybody named Fanny, you gotta love. If you have a problem with somebody named Fanny, then you're an ass. But seriously, you move in sometimes and you don't know that you're all of a sudden living next to a bad episode of Cops, you know? Like there's a good episode of Cops. But you know, you find out everything else about where you're moving into. You find out if the plumbing is good, if the roof is good, or electricity or something like that. You should be able to interview your neighbors. You should be able to go over and say, excuse me, will you be putting tires on that car that's in your front yard? Look, I like dogs too, but are you going to run the race, the Iditarod? That's a lot of dogs you have right there. Suddenly they buy their 9-year-old kid a drum set. That's never a good idea. Oh, man. Even if you're good at drums, that's bad. Nothing worse than a kid practicing drums. I mean, you got to start somewhere, but live in Montana and do that, you know? Live someplace where we're not hearing the noise blaring. There's a guy right there. He plays music so loud, and I don't ever complain. There's Scotty K. I was rocking out. No wonder I don't go to concerts anymore. That hurts your head to do that. Oh,
did I hit you with my best shot?
That's Pat Benatar right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo! I like switching it up like that. You know, we usually listen to a little R&B, a little hip-hop, and I like listening to rock every once in a while, like Pat Benatar. You know, because I want to have some different people on the show, and I'll tell you who I want on the show, I'll tell you right now, because they're not booked yet, but I'd like to book them, is Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. Please come on the show. I love both of them, Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. Faith Hill has that Breathe song.
Yeah, very thought-provoking.
I think she sings that way, I'm pretty sure. And I know that, I've looked into it. You don't have albums coming out till January, both of you. Don't think I don't know that, but please just come on and sing anything you want to sing. Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, get on the show, will you? All right, that's all. I'm not going to beg. Because we have some cool people coming up next week. Can I say who we just booked for next week? Is that safe? We just booked Elton John for next week. I can't wait.
It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Okay, so we have a lot of people writing in and responding and all kinds of things. We get this guy just gave me a doll of myself that he made. Look, it almost looks like what I'm wearing right now. My hair looks like I just went to a concert. It's very much like that. Look, she can rock out like that. Thank you for that. And someone sent us pictures. Our assistant, we have an executive assistant here, Laura, there's Laura right there. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Executive. And your sister, you're a new aunt. Your sister just had a baby, and she sent pictures in. They're not what you think, not those pictures. But she just had a baby, and this is her in the hospital. In labor, right here, right? There is Marie, and I'm not a nurse. I don't know what the cup is used for. That's a fancy hospital. That's some fancy equipment that they need a cup to. I don't even want to say what I think that might be for. And so Marie is in labor right there. She looks very happy for someone who's in labor.
It's her third daughter, so.
Oh, well,
she
it's
has to
nothing
practice.
then. You get used to the pain, they say. But that seems like, I mean, labor. I was brushing my teeth yesterday, and my toothbrush hit my gums, and I wouldn't be smiling like that just from that. So there she is, happy, and you wonder, why is Marie so happy? Well, I'll show you why. Look what she's watching on TV while she's in labor. Look at that. Because they say that laughter induces labor, and I think you have to be pregnant, by the way. Don't get paranoid if all of a sudden you're laughing. I don't want to go into labor. I think you have to be pregnant. And but she was watching. She was just born Wednesday. The baby was born, and look what she was watching. When you have that clip of that show she was watching, which induced labor. Yeah, that'll do it. And then you watch me jumping with a monkey, and look what comes out of you. Yeah. Look at that. Adorable. She weighed, they named her Melissa. I don't know why not Ellen, but they named her Melissa. And she was 7 pounds, and little Melissa, and there's the mommy and the baby. And congratulations to Maria and Andy. New baby.